Hello, this is Dennis with A1 Telephone Service and Repair, A1 Electronics. You can reach us on the web at www.a1-telephone.com, and you can also reach us at 618-235-6959. Today I want to show you a really cool vintage Frog telephone, and this is Amanda's equipment from Louisiana, and this is the initial checkout of this really cool telephone. Now we want to run through a little bit about what's going on with this Frog telephone. Amanda purchased this unit probably off an auction site, and basically it has no line cord. And we also want to troubleshoot the inside circuit board to this unit, and we want to take care of any issues that we find. Now we have troubleshooted a little bit, and we know that at some point someone went into the telephone because they left some screws loose and they probably were looking for an issue. We will be troubleshooting the entire telephone while it's in the shop, and we'll also install a line cord for this unit. We have a lot of work that needs to be done. We want to get a start on this unit. We'll go ahead and take some still pictures of this really cool vintage Frog telephone, and we'll come back and get some more video as we move forward in the troubleshooting and repairing process. We'll take a short break and we'll be right back. Okay, we're back now, and we're going to show a little bit about what's going on with this vintage Frog telephone. And we're in the process of working on this unit, and I want to show what the original ring cycle sounded like when this telephone was manufactured. And this capacitor has been taken off the board, and it controls what the ring cycle sounds like. And we're going to explain a little bit, but I'm going to go ahead and use our analyzer and send a ring cycle, and you'll hear what the original ring cycle sounded like. So we'll go ahead and start that. Okay, we'll go ahead and stop the ring cycle. So basically what's going on with this vintage Frog telephone is it's an early model, and they weren't very elaborate with the circuits yet. So basically this telephone only dials out in the rotary pulse mode. And later on they started manufacturing these units, and they were a little more elaborate with the circuit, and you could dial out in touch tone. So they had a switch for tone and pulse. This unit only dials out in the pulse mode. So it may look touch tone because of the way the buttons are designed on the panel. And when you answer the telephone, so when you open it up, the lights for the eyes will light red, and they do not flash during a ring cycle. To get back to the ring cycle control capacitor for what the audio sounds like on a ring cycle, it just chirps like some of the smaller telephones do. So it's pretty typical, and it doesn't sound like a frog. Now, you would never get it to totally sound like a frog because that would have to come from a recording, and that would all be a digital situation, and you just wouldn't have the room inside of this unit unless it was coming from some type of microprocessor. And this telephone is a vintage telephone, so you're not going to be able to really pull that off and include that circuit. So you have to build a circuit that's going to get close to what a frog might sound like on a ring cycle. Now we also want to talk about the lights in the eyes not flashing on a ring cycle. We're going to go ahead and build a circuit so that the lights in the eyes flash, but it cannot be a part of the original circuit because the original circuit only lit up the eyes when you answered the telephone, and then the eyes would stay lit up. So we can't disturb that circuit or you would ruin a component in that circuitry. So we have to design and isolate a totally different circuit to allow the eyes to light and flash when you have a ring cycle coming in. And that cannot be a part of any of the components that are to the original circuit. So we actually are going to have to use LEDs on top of the LEDs that are already there that light up when you answer the telephone. So there's going to be two separate lights on each eye. We have a lot of work going on and a lot of designing at this point, and we'll come back and get some more video as we move forward in the troubleshooting, repairing, and converting of this really cool vintage Frog telephone. We'll take a short break and we'll be right back. Okay, we're back now, and we're finished up with a repair and conversion of this really cool vintage Frog telephone, and we're ready to start our final checkout. Now, we also want to mention our amplified pickup. We use this pickup in troubleshooting, repairing, and on our final checkouts. It's amplified so that you can hear the audio from a receiver. And I have an amplifier back by the video. It has a button on it. When I press the button, I can give dial tone or take it away at any time. And since it's an open amplifier, it is prone to any static interference or noise in the atmosphere. I'm going to go ahead and press the button. You may hear a little bit of an electrical hum. I'll release it, press it one more time, and release it. So if you hear any noise during the final checkout, it will be coming from the amplifier and not the telephone. Now we also want to mention that we have the unit plugged into our line out because we're going to call it with a cell phone, and we just want to show that there will be a little bit of variation depending on your ring cycle voltage. So basically, if you have a normal ring cycle voltage, there should not be any issues. And we'll run through a little bit about what went on. We went ahead and made a conversion so this Frog telephone's eyes would flash on a ring cycle. We also redesigned a circuit so that it sounded more like a frog on a ring cycle than just a tweeter type noise that you heard on the ring cycle earlier in the video, and installed a line cord for the unit. So there was a lot of work involved in the situation, but this is a vintage Frog telephone and it's well worth what we put into it. We wanted Amanda to be able to have a unique situation with this vintage Frog telephone. Now what we want to do is go ahead and use a cell phone and call our number, and you'll hear the ring cycle audio. go ahead and hang up. So that'll be your ring cycle that comes in, and depending on the line ring cycle voltage will depend on the tone that you get. We're also going to go ahead and move the Frog telephone back over to our analyzer, and we'll send a ring cycle like you were getting a call. So we'll start that. We'll let it go one more time and we'll give you some dial tone. We're going to go ahead and walk through our numbers. If you watch the analyzer, you'll watch the numbers roll by. Now this unit dials out in the rotary pulse mode. We're going to end in a 2. Now we want to go ahead and hang up, and we'll hit the redial. And the analyzer will end in a 2. There is no star and pound. Star is the mute button, and pound is the redial, because it dials out in the rotary pulse mode. Now what we want to do is go ahead and move the line cord over to a line out, and we'll call a time and temp number. Go ahead and give you some dial tone. And we'll make that call. Let it finish dialing.
The time and temperature is coming up after this. To hear the time and temperature, just stay on the line. Today is Tuesday, May 26th. The current time, 4:04 p.m. and the temperature, 72 degrees.
We can go ahead and hang our unit up. Now that we know that this really cool vintage Frog telephone has been repaired and converted, we can return this unit back to Amanda and they can enjoy this telephone. I'm sure it's going to look great wherever it's used. And this unit is highly collectible. This is Dennis with A1 Telephone Service and Repair, A1 Electronics. You can reach us on the web at www.a1-telephone.com, and you can also reach us at 618-235-6959. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.